Good day, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. How's everybody coming off the weekend here? Take a look at this. So, yeah, we have an area of potential development out in the MDR of the Atlantic. And will this develop into something? Well, we'll continue in time to see. And I'll show you the entire model analysis. And could we see a major hurricane out in the Atlantic by the first week of September here? Well, we're going to take a look at all that and more, as well as heavy rain from the southeast, the south central part of the United States, up through beneficial rains for the northeast. We'll take a look. All right, so taking a look at the Atlantic, here is that area highlighted by the NHC in the MDR of the Atlantic. 20% chance through day 5 here. And this is that system right here. You can see it's looking pretty interesting here. It definitely catches your eye. And at this point across the Atlantic, we don't have much else to talk about. So let's put this into motion and see what happens with this system. So it is going to be battling some wind shear, dry air, maybe a little bit of dust this far north. This is Thursday, August 25th. So there's that frontal boundary making its way here into the northern Gulf. You can see kind of stalling out, washing out. So at this point, we start to see some sort of a tropical wave here across the northern part of the Caribbean, and we will watch this in time because the GFS here takes that into the Gulf of Mexico towards the weekend. Here's that system out in the Atlantic, and we'll be watching for potential development. And look at this big old blob behind it. Definitely want to watch some of these robust waves as they head off the coastline here of the Cape Verdes. So the Cape Verde season really picking up. You can see this here really starting to potentially become something, but you know, we have this frontal boundary across the Gulf of Mexico here, so we will have some wind shear. So as this starts to make its way towards the north, the Gulf of Mexico, this may encounter some wind shear. And there's that system in the Atlantic. It's not looking so impressive here by Friday, August 26th, but we will watch it here. But look at some of these tropical waves coming off the Cape Verde season here. We have them start to really line up here, and I think the Atlantic's really going to start to bomb here. We're going to start to see an explosive amount of development. As we head through time here, we have those two systems out here in the main development region of the Atlantic. Definitely want to keep an eye on these because one of these could have the chance to become a named storm. Here coming off the coast, this is Saturday, August 27th, so definitely want to keep an eye on this, and you can see by this point, the GFS is kind of absorbing this system into this frontal boundary that's kind of stuck here along the southeast coast. So definitely want to keep an eye on it here. At this point, judging by what the GFS is showing, it's not going to become anything major, but, you know, this is a little far out. This is next Saturday, so a lot can change between now and then, so stay tuned. Definitely going to keep an eye on it here. Lots of tropical moisture, you know, next weekend, so you know, it's going to be interesting. This is all just going to feed up along, you know, make a kind of a really rainy, torrential rain type scenario here for parts of Florida in the southeast. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. That's really enhanced by the frontal boundary. Now, this is where things start to get interesting. There's our first system. Kind of looks like it's washing out at this point, but watch this system behind it. The GFS has really been ramping up this system quite a bit. So let's take a look in time here, see what happens. It kind of weakens a little bit, dives to the southwest, west-southwest, which a lot of these weaker systems tend to do. There will be, by this point, and I'll be showing you here on the Euro momentarily, that the high pressure will be developing and expanding more towards this direction. So that will force the system a little bit more towards the west-southwest here. So this is Thursday, August 30th. Look what starts to happen with this system. This is Wednesday, August 31st. This is a full-fledged hurricane. And as you can see, it's literally lining up here with the Virgin Islands, the Lesser Antilles. There's Puerto Rico. There's Hispaniola. We're going to definitely watch this here. And there's what's left, potentially, of our system up towards Bermuda here. So if you live in Bermuda, definitely want to keep an eye on this. A lot of systems. Here's that frontal boundary along the U.S. East Coast. Definitely want to keep an eye on this as well. We might have some subtropical systems try to form off of this. But as we head through time here, take a look at this. Yeah, this is a trend we're going to watch. Now, that doesn't mean the system, you know, if this becomes a hurricane, that it's going to be in this vicinity. But the trends are a little troubling. So if you're in these Caribbean islands, definitely want to be mindful. Look at this. Yeah, if this verifies, this is a full-fledged, what looks like major hurricane heading towards the Caribbean islands. And as you can see with its location, its trajectory with the United States here, you can see it's kind of heading due west at this point. So, yeah. Going to keep an eye on this. Look at this. You can zoom in as close, pretty close. Look at this. There is Puerto Rico. This is Saturday, September 3rd. So, yeah, this would be the bad side of the system too. A lot of this surge from the southeast, something you don't want to see. So, yeah, we're going to keep a real close eye on this. This is really far out, so this is beyond 300 hours. But look at it. It does show it moving towards the island of Hispaniola. And if you know anything about the island of Hispaniola, it is technically a graveyard for tropical systems. The mountainous terrain just literally rips systems apart. And that's what looks like happens here under this scenario. But as we head towards, say, September 5th, towards Labor Day weekend, look at this. Yeah. GFS wants to strengthen again here in the Northern Caribbean. And as we head towards the last few frames here, look at this. This is just north of the Yucatan Peninsula. This is entering the Gulf of Mexico. This is Tuesday, September 6th. Is this going to happen? Well, we're going to keep an eye on it here, but we're showing a pretty big buzzsaw entering the Gulf of Mexico by this point. And this is technically nearing the peak of hurricane season. All right, so taking a look at the euro here, let's see if the euro's holding on to anything interesting here as far as the GFS, any agreements. Here's the big old high-pressure system across the central Atlantic. It's going to keep these systems on a trajectory towards either the U.S. East Coast, Caribbean, or the Eastern Gulf here. So as we head throughout time here, this is Tuesday, August 23rd, there are a few areas of interest showing up here. You see, there's our area of interest. There's that big tropical wave I showed you coming off the coast with the GFS. And we're going to watch this area here as we go in time. So let's take a look. There's that weakness there showing up, our initial system. There's a potential system developing, another potential wave. And there's the start of the development of the Caribbean low that could affect the Gulf. So as we head through time here towards the weekend, here's Friday, August 26th. Take a look at this. So yeah, we've got a few systems here to watch. The euro is kind of washing out the Gulf low, so not in full agreement as the GFS and bringing it up like this. Got some time to watch that. Here's that next system. It could become a named system as well as the tropical wave behind it. There's some interesting pieces of energy on the west side of this high-pressure system. These areas of tropical waves, tropical development, there is high pressure blocking here in the northeast, so these don't really have any place to go. So we might have, you know, some subtropical systems here trying to form off the east coast come Sunday, August 28th. We'll have to keep an eye on that. There's that potential tropical system here coming north of the Caribbean islands. Another big wave here, another potential system. And then the GFS kind of hinting at something going on here in the north part of the Caribbean, southeastern part of the Gulf. So we'll have to watch that. Things really, really definitely getting active, though. Euro's showing 2 low pressure systems here by August 30th. Another one coming off the Cape Verde Islands here. And as we head through time here, definitely got a lot of time to watch this. But look at this. Showing a potential system here just off the coast of Florida. So, the trend is for these systems to come off the coast like this. So in the coming weeks, we'll have to see what happens, especially with this high-pressure system. Once again, it's retreating to the northeast. That could allow in time, as we head deeper into September, these to deflect off the U.S. East Coast. But we'll see here. We got plenty of time to watch this. All right, so let's take a look at the Pacific here. We're going to be dealing with a potential, here's the Tropical Depression 10, probably becoming a tropical storm. You can see just moving north of the Philippines, producing a lot of heavy rain in the Philippines by August 23rd here at 8 a.m. And then we head just south of Taiwan, the island of Taiwan. Here's the coastline of China. So by this point, we're going to see August 24th and then August 25th. It'll be inland. So it's going to make landfall, during this time period. And then head inland and become a big heavy rain producer. Don't think this one's going to become a typhoon. Well, let's head throughout time here. We'll see what happens with this system. You see, it's going to be a pretty big heavy rainmaker here in the Philippines. Does try to become a minimal hurricane, but at this point, I think it's mainly a tropical storm. You can see heads a lot of moisture pretty far inland there. In the eastern Pacific, it's going to remain pretty quiet. I mean, there's 2 areas here the NHC has about a 20% chance, but at this point, we're not looking too bad here. Things don't look too bad at all. And as I said, the eastern Pacific is going to be getting quieter here, and that's going to help the Atlantic basin ramp up quite a bit here. So, yeah, things are going to get pretty quiet here, a lot of stability. We will have some systems kind of trying to flare up here southeast of Japan here. A lot of these will get caught up in the westerlies and deflected. You can see that frontal boundary really trying to protect Japan here. And as we head here, you can actually see here, just before I continue, there is some tropical moisture heading up along the resort towns of western Mexico here. So we could have some problems from Acapulco up to Puerto Vallarta. This is not expected to become, tropical in nature. We'll watch it, though, because sometimes you can get some spin-ups right off the coast, but definitely not expected to become anything major. So as we continue in time here into the month of September, it's showing some tropical development here near the island of Japan. So definitely want to keep an eye on that trend. And look at that, the intertropical convergence zone really heating up out here. All right, so I wanted to show you the overall pattern here as we go in time. A rough sketch through the rest of August, beginning of September. So we're going to continue to deal with the theme of the trough here in the east. Some of these tropical systems out here we'll definitely have to watch, but some of these could get deflected depending on if anything's coming off the east coast at that time. But the problem here is we start to see, as I showed you on the tropics, the tropical connections, we start to see this blocking high out here. So if we do have anything try to come up the U.S. East Coast, it'll likely stall here off the Carolinas, and it really won't have any place to go here. There's that ridge developing out west there that should continue to strengthen the trough in the east. And you can see here it's really taking shape here you can see the axis of it just pinwheeling all the way up here just west of Greenland. Starting to see some blocking up here in Greenland. That's indicative of any system we get along the U.S. East Coast to slow down and stall. I know you seriously need some rain up in the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. We'll see if we can get you some in the coming weeks here with the tropical season. But here's what starts to happen towards the end of August here, right around August 28th. Look what starts to develop, a big old ridge here across the East Coast. So that should push systems more towards the Gulf of Mexico at this point. They won't be able to be deflected up the U.S. East Coast. And we start to see a lot of troughiness out here in the western part of North America. And that continues to strengthen as we head towards Tuesday, August 30th. But look what starts to really take shape here. We have a big old trough here, and look at its positioning. If this holds true, there it is. There's that GFS showing that big major hurricane out here towards the Caribbean islands just east of Puerto Rico. This is by Friday, August 2nd. If this holds true here, this kind of pattern, it's possible that this system could get pulled up the East Coast, because you see some of these blocking highs, or could get shunted here into the Gulf of Mexico. So this is definitely something to watch in time here. But look what starts to happen. This ridge starts to really strengthen here, and it pushes that system towards the southwest here, towards Hispaniola. So we'll have to keep an eye on this for trends. You can see that trough does not really stay true here. In time, we start to see this ridge, major ridging with some trough out west here. So that forces our tropical systems towards the northern Caribbean. And does this mean it becomes a Gulf problem? Well, there's the divide there between the Caribbean and the Gulf. And if this high pressure keeps building west, this could become a northern Mexico or potentially a Texas problem here. So definitely want to keep an eye on this. Keep in mind, this is September 6th. So a lot can change between now and then, but this is the overall pattern we're looking for. All right, so you just notice a common theme here across the east. Look at this. Yeah, this is Sunday evening here, 7 p.m. Lots of shower and thunderstorm action here. Some of these storms here in the northeast could be getting pretty frisky as well into parts of the southeast here. So, the Ohio Valley, definitely want to keep an eye up here too in the evening. Could have some stronger thunderstorms, damaging wind, large hail. So at this point, as we head throughout time, we'll take you through the rest of your Sunday evening here. Some of these storms become, they become more linear in nature at night. This is 11 p.m. Sunday. So they become more of some heavy rain producers here. Definitely need some of this heavy rain here in the southeast as well. You see across parts of Texas into the Carolinas. So up here in the northeast where you really need the rain. Let's see what happens overnight Sunday into Monday here. So this becomes less of a severe weather threat and more of torrential rain threat, which you do need. You don't want too much too fast. But look at this. Beggars can't be choosers here. We're heading towards 4 a.m. here around the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area. Look at these areas of heavy rain towards Williamsport as well, back towards Warren and Bradford, and up towards Syracuse, where you've been getting hit consecutively throughout the day on Sunday. So as we head throughout time here, that conglomerates up towards the Binghamton area, where you desperately need some rain as well. Towards Long Island here, this is 8 a.m., you kind of have a lull here in the southern Catskills in the Hudson Valley, but you still have some light rain by this point, some heavier rain and thunderstorms down towards Philadelphia. And look at this. We're still holding on to dryness here across New England. Now, let's see if we can get some moisture up here as we head throughout the day on Monday. Look at this. It has a real hard time here. We start to get some development again back in eastern New York, eastern Pennsylvania, and then some more development here in western New York, western Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio. But look at this. It's like there's a dry area here. We're having a hard time getting this precip up here in Boston. So let's take a look here as we continue in time. We start to moisten up the atmosphere here. And here you have it. You really start to see some showers and thunderstorms up here in the Boston area. This is good news, getting some moisture up here as well, and then into the Susquehanna River Valley by this point, 7 p.m. on Monday. Yeah, some showers and thunderstorms. So we're going to have hopefully a smattering of showers and thunderstorms here. Let's back that up just a few frames. You can see as we head towards later in the evening there it is, Monday, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So yeah, we start to bring the system up into Maine, the Canadian Maritimes up here, and we start to quiet things down a bit here behind the system. So let's see as we continue towards your Tuesday, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., there it is. So drying across the northeast, but this, as the daytime heating progresses on Tuesday, we'll actually see this fill in again. And let's switch over to the NAM 3 kilometer here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean here as we head throughout time. Make sure that's the latest. There we go. So let's continue on through Tuesday here. So look at that. Yeah, there's the daytime heating. You can almost sense there's an upper level low in the atmosphere up here in southern Ontario and Quebec. So we're going to have those showers and thunderstorms fire again. Some of these could contain, small hail, gusty winds. But the main interesting thing with this is getting some much needed rainfall for the region. This is 8 p.m. on Tuesday here, so take a look at that. And across the southeast, yeah, you got some tropical moisture here. Let's back this up a couple frames here. I'll show you what I mean here. During the day on, here's Sunday, and there is Monday. So along the Gulf Coast, you're pretty quiet through the most part Monday afternoon here. But look what starts to happen here in the northern reaches here. You start to see some shower and thunderstorm activity up into parts of eastern Texas here. And let's see, a lot of you in eastern Texas, too, are wondering about the moisture from that tropical storm to the south. You can see it really isn't tropical moisture from that potential tropical system that made landfall on Saturday night. It's actually this frontal boundary. You can see as you head throughout Monday here into, there it is, Tuesday morning. A lot of this here in northeast Texas and eastern Texas, this is with all this frontal boundary action. So might have some frisky thunderstorms here, damaging wind, large hail. The rainfall will be the big story, though, as we continue in time here. Let's take a look at the whole southeast here. So look at that. That kind of washes out towards the Gulf Coast. You do get some beneficial rains towards Tuesday here into the southeast. Look at New Orleans. This is 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Knocking on your door here. Thankfully, none of these are severe. This is showery and thundery conditions. And then you get some showers and thunderstorms popping up around the Jacksonville area as well. So I wanted to show you this rainfall here across North Texas into Louisiana. Now, this is the NAM 3 kilometer, so take in mind this is a mesoscale model, so don't focus on any one point. But you can see a general 3 to 6 inches of rain here. Most of this is frontal boundary focus related, although some of this could be the tropical moisture feeding in. focusing along the front from what was that potential tropical system that made landfall later Saturday. But as we take a look at the high-resolution Euro here, let's see here. Yeah, this is pretty intense action going on up here. So, yeah, any place up here in northeast Texas could see, according to the Euro, 3 to 6 inches, locally higher 6-inch plus. So, some of those areas with a focal point of origin of the heaviest rainfalls, we could be seeing upwards of 6 to 10 in isolated areas here. So as we get up into parts of the northeast here, let's take a look, see what we got going on as far as rainfall here on the generalized rainfall, what we're looking at. So the latest Euro run, yeah, this is pretty interesting because this is anywhere from 1 to 1.5 inches here into the pinks. Unfortunately, here into eastern New England, it's going to take a while for the atmosphere to moisten up, but any points from Long Island, western New England, definitely have a good shot of seeing an inch here. Or look at this. If this sets up here over parts of Oneonta, New York, this is upwards of 3.5, 5 inches. We'll have to keep an eye on those trends, see if we have anything that could potentially lead to that, but generalize 1 to 1.25, 1.5 inches, with locally higher towards the reds here too. 2.5 inches. So definitely some beneficial rain here. All right, so taking a look at the drought map here, I know the colors are really close together, but I'll break this down as easily as possible here. In the yellow, we got the abnormally dry, moderate drought in the light orange. The darker orange is severe drought, extreme drought going on in eastern part of New England here, Boston down to Providence and parts of eastern Connecticut as well. This is getting really bad, and we could see this go into exceptional drought pretty soon, but most of the eastern and even parts of western New England are now into a severe drought at this point, and you know that's building here across western New York State as well. All right, so do we have anything interesting as far as cool waves, heat waves? Well, we do have a heat wave for your Monday out here in the northern plains, but look at this. Across the northeast, you're comfortable here into the upper 70s, right around 80. So as we continue in time here, let's see if there's any trends. Continuing with those 70s north, mainly north of that red line. We're going to continue to bake out west here. Look at some cool areas down in the southeast with some inclement weather here. Some beneficial rain, to say the least. And look at that. We start to warm it up back east here. You knew this was coming because north of this line is in the 70s, and you start to creep that line here to the north. So as we get towards, say, Thursday here, yeah, a lot of areas here getting towards 90. This is mostly upper 80s into parts of the northeast. And as we head towards Friday here, yeah, this is 89 as a popular number in here. So Wilkes-Barre, Scranton up to Albany, Boston, New York City, all 89s here, Hartford, Connecticut. And as we head towards Saturday here, your weekend, it cools down just slightly up here, so you're cooling down into the mid-80s, 86, 84. Not too bad. Can't complain this time of year. It's the dog days of summer, as they call it. But look at here in the southeast, we start to warm things up as well as out west here, you see, with the ridge. All right, extended outlook, yeah, Monday through Friday. Yeah, if you have a 5-day week like I do, yeah, here it comes. Monday, showers and thunderstorms likely up to 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Only getting up towards 77. I don't think many of these will be severe. They're going to be mainly gully washers. Beneficial rain into Tuesday as well. That frontal boundary, that upper level low pulling behind. We'll still have a chance of showers and thunderstorms, 1/4 to 1/2 inch possible. So, yeah, so if you have outdoor plans, not looking very good Monday and Tuesday. But Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we clear it out. We head towards, the upper 80s here towards Thursday into Friday. We have a chance of a shower or thunderstorm between 2 and 8 p.m. on Friday with the next system. But, not an all-day event. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. There's links in the description down below for all the good stuff. I am working on my winter weather 2022-2023 outlook. Get my Facebook page at Media Mark. That's my main page. Also, Weather Northeastern. Also, Twitter at Weather Eastern. As always, smash the like button, question, or comment down below. Thanks for joining me.